Hello everybody and welcome. So in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to do this kind of grid you see in the scene. And it's pretty important actually when you do development. So as you see, these boxes, there are 1 by 1 unit, and then you know right away if you have a person lying down and it kind of reach 2 units, well then you know it's 2 meters. And when you do VFX, you know, oh, my VFX is pointing forward in the Z forward direction because it's the blue line here. And when you do, different stuff, let's see, you know, it's behaving like you want. So I'm going to show you how to do this setup in this material. And maybe it seems pretty easy, but it's a few gotchas in when you do it. So let's get started and do it. And I think it's going to be a pretty quick tutorial, hopefully. So we're going to start in an empty scene. And we're going to make shader graph, lit shader graph, and this is going to be ground grid. And I'm going to have 21 like that. That's fine. Cool. So let's make a material from it. And here we have this. It's good. So we just assign it and it's going to be great. So first I'm going to make this cube and I'm going to place it in the center because this is our reference at the moment. This is the center and we know this is 1 meter by 1 meter by 1 meter in all directions. So by now you can see, and you can see on this one, the blue one and the blue one, this is forward. So of course, if you did it pivot local here and move, you have something different, but you could do it like global and then you have it like that. So, and in the shader, we're gonna start making lines, and we're gonna use a position. So if we do a position like this and we do the absolute world, this means we take the absolute world position of the pixel. And so let's say if we do an absolute, that means even, okay, and we're going to do this first. We're going to split this one. And we do only the X, and the X is kind of, let's do the scene in the corner here so we can see what's going on. Like this. This is going to be super nice. We do the project down here so I can have some kind of overview. So when we put this one in here, what we've done now and do save, now we're kind of taking the red axis and kind of absolute it. So even the negative X position gets positive. So that's why 0 value gets black and then everything white. So this is a good start to do the red line, or actually it will be the blue line because it will be in the blue forward direction. So if we do 1 minus here and plug it in, we kind of just inverted it because we want to create a mask, and white's going to be a mask. So by doing that, we can make a floor. And by doing a floor, we take everything down to its closest integer. And because we did so if we save, we have everything is kind of black now. So what we can do with this, if we just do an add here, and if we do a line width, and we do that as no, this is wrong. We're going to be here. So we want it to be a slider like this between 0 and 1. So now if we just do add this one here and save. Now in the material, well, here is the material. Now we can do a line. So this is perfect. So, and when we do the line 1 unit width, you can actually see here, it's these squares here is a half meter. So this is 0.5, 1, and you can see it's going up to 2. So this line is actually 2 meters wide. So we're just gonna multiply this line with 0.5 and plug it in here like this. And now when we save, 1 unit is 1 unit. So now we can really have control of the width. So I'm gonna keep it like this. Perfect. And now when we made this, I'm just gonna make sure we do an saturate, and we're gonna put it here. Then I'm always sure that the value is always between 0 and 1, or 0 and 1, of course. So now you see, and now it looks better. It was some weird thing going on here, but now it looks good. So the thing is, now we actually did it on the red axis, the X, and we want to do it on B, that's the Y axis too. So instead of just copy this, we could just do like this. If we do a vector 2 and combine them, I actually do believe we can do a swizzle X and Z 2. This should be the same X. Anyway, we're gonna go with this. So what we do here, we're splitting it and do red and blue, and because now we actually do it on 2 floats at the same time. And if we save now you see we have a cross because we did it on the X and I at the same time. Super nice. So now we have our mask. So we have X and I because it's a vector. So if we just do a split here, now we can use these two to have a mask. So now we do the colors. So I'm gonna hard code these colors. You can do them as attributes if you want, but you probably want red and blue because we want it to reference the axis. So we do a lerp, and so the red one, it's gonna represent the blue one if I'm not totally wrong. And if I do like this and save it, we have the blue one. And as you see, the blue direction, the blue, perfect. Then we just do yet another one. This is going to be the red one. And now, let's see how to organize this. We're going to have this one in here. We're going to do it like this, like this, like this, like this. This is going to be fine. So now if we save this, no, what did I? Okay, so now we need the green one in here. So if we do save here, now you see we have the red in the red and the blue in the blue. Perfect. So now we want the texture, and we're going to use a triplanar for this. And you have the blue line here and the red one, and the black you see here, that's where our texture are going to be. So, and here is the black value. So we're just going to plug in our texture here. And we're going to use the triplanar for this one. And we need a texture 2D. It's going to be the grid. Perfect. And we're going to place it in here. So we save it like this, and it should be white. So we have a slot here for the texture. So we need to make a texture. And I have prepared an empty texture in Photoshop. So it's a 24 by 24 pixels and just a square. And I'm just going to show you how I do it really quick. So, so if I drag here, you get this line and you kind of snap in the center at 512. Or you can drag it out here, or you drag here again and hold Alt, so it kind of flips. Perfect. And we need a new layer, and I'm just gonna do like this, mark here and mark here, and I'm gonna make light gray like this. And then this background, I'm gonna do it a little bit darker, maybe like this. So this is gonna be the kind of base, and then I'm just gonna take this, mark all the area, do right click and transform selection. And then I'm gonna hold Alt and drag down, so it's gonna be equally like that. So now we kind of made a border, and I'm just gonna make a new layer, and this layer, I'm just gonna Control-Shift-I invert it, so now we have the border, and I'm gonna pick a white color instead, and now we have a line like this. And we want the line to be as a cross too. So what I can do, I just duplicate this line. Control J, and then I do filter, other, offset. And then I just do horizontal 512 offset and vertical 512 offset. Okay. So now we have it like this, and you see it's thick here and just a half thickness here, but that's fine, because when it's tiling, it will be next to another half sized line, so it's going to be perfect. And then I'm just going to do this center kind of thing. Place it in the center and making a new layer like this. And this one, I'm just gonna, well, first these are the lines. And then this square, I'm gonna use the same technique. So I'm gonna do copy that layer, do offset. And why that worked, I just did the same kind of things on it. Okay, I'm gonna do it. So this one I do filter and offset, but it's the same thing as going here, offset, and then do it here. And then if I do a merged it like this, and then I'm just gonna do offset again, filter, other, offset, and then I'm just gonna do here. Actually, I need to duplicate that layer and do it again. Filter, other, offset, like this. And let's save this. And now in Photoshop, here you have it. So let's try, and actually I forgot to show the lines. And I save it again, go back. So here, and now in the material, here in the slot, we just drag it in like this. So now you see we have it here, working really good. So one thing that you notice, because we have this box here, and it's big, it's like 2 units, but no, it's not. It's the grid that's wrong size, because it needs, the squares need to be bigger. So what we do in this triplanar, we just tile with 0.5 instead. And now if we save, you can see here that now that this one is actually 1 by 1. So you can just tweak the texture as you want it. And the last thing we're going to add is the text. So I'm going to show you the texture. It's this one, right? So I'm not going to make it. You can make it yourself. And the last thing we want to do, we just want to add it. So yet another triplanar. And let's see. We need a lerp. So this is going to be the kind of A, going to be what you see here, and B is going to be the Z and X. Z and X texture. So we're going to have it here. Bam. And if we save it, in the materials, we can now add yet another one. So we're going to add the texture here. And let's see, and if we do a split on this one, because we have here, we have an alpha in this one. So we have red, green, blue, and we also have an alpha in the PNG file. And then you can do export and quick export as a PNG or an, yeah, I don't know, maybe a PSD works. You have to figure it out. But then you just to take this alpha as the value here. So if we save, now you see we have the numbers. So we can remove this cube, and it's actually not, we just want it in the center. So we need to make sure that this texture doesn't repeat itself. So you go into the texture, and then in here you do wrap mode, you do repeat and do it clamp. So apply that one. Now you see you have it like this. So it's kind of perfect now. So we just want the Z to be down here and the X to be here, right? And the reason it is over here is because we need to just offset this part here. So the first thing is we want it to be the double size. We want it to cover 4 tiles, right? So we just do tiles, gonna be 0.5. And if we save that and check here, you see it's almost good. We just need to offset it a little bit. Because textures start at 0 and then it goes up to 1, 0 up to 1. So we just need to tweak this position. And if we do position and we do this absolute world and plug it in like this and save it, we don't see any difference here. That's because this node is doing the exact same thing. So the good thing now is that if we just do an add node here and do 1 and 1, so we kind of offset it a little bit. And if we save it now, and bam, here you got it. So this is how it's done. And you can, of course, here add I would recommend to do less smoothness, actually maybe 0.01 or, and then I would tweak for your liking the texture itself. So this is how it's done. And I'm going to show you the whole setup one more time. And yeah, I really hope you like it, and thank you so much for watching. And if you like this, please subscribe and hit a like button, and see you in the next tutorial. I'm just going to clean up a little bit more so you can see it. All right. Thank you so much.